Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good evening, Toasties. Good evening, Adlan. All right. And not only just the Toasties, but also our guests. All right. Okay. Now, without further ado, this is an amazing meeting that we're going to have. But I'm going to let that to our Toastmaster of the evening to introduce it. I'm just excited about it. So let's just begin. Let's just jump right in. Today's 15th February 2022, and we are going to start with the history of Toastmaster. Right, Toastmaster was founded by Dr. Ralph C. Smedley in 1924. The handsome gentleman on the slide, that is Dr. Ralph C. Smedley. He believes that we should work on two aspects, leadership skills and communication skills. That was back in 1924, and this is 2022, and it still holds true. Next slide, please. And there are a total of 4 Toastmasters Club in Brunei Darussalam, starting with UBD Toastmasters Club, which is held every Monday, 7:30 p.m. Brunei Speakers Club, which is us, every Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. And the Authors Toastmaster Club, every Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. And the Brunei Advanced Speakers Club, every first Friday of every month. And the QR code that you see on the slide there, that would lead you to each club's individual IGs or Instagrams. Next slide, please. Now, if you just arrived to our meeting, please rename yourself according to the following guidelines. If you have a role for today, please state your role, followed by your name, and then your Toastmaster title. And if you are from a different club, state your club name, and then your Toastmaster title. And if you are a guest, please type guest, and then followed by your name. Now, to ensure that the meeting runs smoothly, there are some house rules that we need to follow. The first is to be polite and respectful towards each other. Second, no taboo topics such as sex, politics, and religion. Third, please keep your mic on mute. Only unmute when you are called upon or when it's your turn to speak. And finally, because we are on mute, we're probably not going to hear each other's clap, but instead we can give jazz hands, right? So give a jazz hands, everyone. Jazz hands, please. Hey, all right. And yeah, those jazz hands would be a key component to supporting each other. Next slide, please. Now, let's all together, keep yourself muted, but let's all do it together. Let's recite the Toastmaster mission to get into the Toastmaster spirit. Let's do that in 3, 2, 1, to provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Great, I receive your energy and I am feeling the Toastmaster spirit. Or I just need to go to the toilet again. But that's all right. we'll know when the time comes. And if you do decide to join Toastmasters, you will be subjected to a series of tests. And by the end of the test, you will get to see our own individual educational system called pathways. Now, these pathways will cater to your individual needs. For example, like myself, I am presentation mastery. That's why you have the PM2 at the end of my name, right? And if you need to know more about these pathways, you can contact our Vice President of Education, who is also our General Evaluator, Megat Arif, right? He's in the chat. Or you can directly contact our President, Janur Nizam. He's also in the chat. He's doing the magic, the Zoom Master magic right here. All right, next slide, please. Yes, it is going to be an exciting meeting. It's slightly different than the usual, but I'm going to let our Toastmaster of the evening to introduce that bit. So once again, I am Adlan, and I am your Sergeant at Arms. Passing the floor to our Toastmaster of the evening, Lawrence
I
Pao.
think you need to invite the guests to introduce themselves first.
Oh no, all right. Yes, I do apologize because well, we did talk just now with the guest. So, Adlan, all right. Now, without further ado, before I pass the floor to the Toastmaster, thank you for that, Lawrence. Let's have a quick introduction with our guest. Hakim, do you mind introducing yourself and why you're here?
My name is Good evening, everyone. Nice to meet you all again. This is my first time joining Toastmaster. I'm here to find my ways on improving my vocabulary as well as practice my public speaking with you guys, since you guys are being recommended by my supervisor. And so far from the previous session, it has been exciting, and I find ways how to improve my public speaking and how can I improve my speech with you guys. So hello, everyone, and good evening.
Good evening, Hakim. Yes, that is a very well introduced introduction. All right. And I do hope that you join us so that you can bring that level to above and beyond. Watch the movie Above and Beyond. All right. Now, I believe there's no other guests in the chat. No, we do not have it. With that, I'll pass the floor to our Toastmaster of the evening. Everyone, give your best jazz hands for Lawrence Pao.
Thank you, Adlan, for the introduction. A very pleasant evening to fellow Toastmasters and esteemed guests. I'm your Toastmaster of the evening. My name is Lawrence. First of all, I would like to welcome all of you to the Brunei Speakers Club Toastmasters meeting. Today is a special day on the lunar calendar. Happy Cap Gome, everyone. For those who don't celebrate Cap Gome, let me explain the term for you. In the Chinese Hokkien dialect, the word Sap Go means 15 and May means night. Therefore, this festival is celebrated on the 15th and final night of the Chinese New Year celebrations. In conjunction with this festive season, we, the Brunei Speakers Club, are proud to organize a table topics bonanza for all of you. In other words, there will not be any prepared speeches today, but more slots for table topic speakers. In addition, our meeting today revolves around home because Cap Gome is customary for the Chinese to go home and have reunion dinner with their family members. Prior to this meeting, I have sent a questionnaire to the role players in which they have to tell me what their home means to them and how they cope with homesickness. Before I call upon the role players to introduce their roles, let me introduce to you two indispensable co-hosts of the meeting tonight. Adlan, who serves as our Sergeant at Arms today, considers his home as the most comfortable place. On top of that, he has never been homesick because wherever he goes, he will make himself feel at home. Thank you, Adlan. Next, I would like to introduce our Zoom master. As the Zoom master, he will be in charge of the technical part of our meeting, such as admitting the guests, spotlighting the speakers, and controlling the slides. Let's give Shana a wave of just hands for taking on the role of Zoom master tonight. Thank you, Shana and Atlan, for being the co-host tonight. Moving on, I would like to invite the role players to explain their roles one by one. The first role player that I would like to call upon is our table topics master. Upon hearing the word home, she immediately thinks of her bed. Her home means a lot to her because it has a toilet she feels comfortable using. When she was in the UK, she made Jollibee spaghetti, Tian Tian chicken rice, and escapade sushi to overcome homesickness. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Presentation Mastery Proficient, Team Collaboration Level 2, Lai Ling Ling.
All right, thank you very much, Lawrence. And for everyone's, to sate everyone's curiosity, no, it did not taste anything like Jollibee spaghetti, but I tried. But that's the thing, home means something different to everyone. And that's the theme of our table topics tonight as well. As table topic master, I'll be calling members and non-members alike to the floor to attempt an impromptu question for 1 to 2 minutes. Now the lights will correspond with the time you have taken. And like I said, today's theme will be about home. So I look forward to all of you sharing with us tonight what home means to you. So I won't give too much away. I'll now pass the floor back to our host of the evening, Lawrence, to take it away. Right, over to you, Lawrence.
Thank you, Ling Ling. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, I hope you will be actively involved in the table topic session later. As the saying goes, two heads are better than one. Tonight, we will have two table topics evaluators. The first table topic evaluator is Mei An, who will be evaluating odd-numbered table topic speakers. The first thing that comes to Mei An's mind when hearing the word home is rest. She also thinks that home is a place we manage love and comfort. Let's welcome Innovative Planning Level 1 Lim Mei An with a big wave of jazz hands.
Good evening, Lawrence. Thank you for inviting me to be the table topics evaluator on this auspicious night. Ladies and gentlemen, I am your first table topics evaluator. What do I do as the table topics evaluator? I will be listening on how you deliver your table topics content. On my part for tonight, I will be looking out on how you deliver the structure of your thoughts as you come onto the virtual stage. Because tonight we have a theme of home, I will take the liberty to also give a rating on how I feel with regards to your content. With this, back to you, Toastmaster of the evening, Lawrence.
Thank you so much, Mei An. The second table topics evaluator is someone who was awarded the second place in the club level table topics contest last year. From his perspective, home means solace. It is also a place where he can rest from the outside demands of the world. As we both are currently working abroad, I guess Brunei Speakers Club is a place where we both can feel the warmth and positive energy. Dear audience, please join me in welcoming Toastmasters Charles Buck with a love hand gesture.
Thank you, Lawrence. Lots of love hand gestures. That was quite a surprise. I'm the second table topics evaluator, which is something a bit new. I'll be evaluating all the even numbers or the even speakers, not the odd ones, not the strange ones. And I'm hoping to at least identify a strength, something that I think you're really good at, maybe a possible weakness, and then give you some specific recommendation, something practical and helpful that you can maybe take away and work on in your next table topic. And that'll be my duty for the evening. Good luck to those who are taking up the table topics, and I'll see you later. Thank you, Lawrence.
Thank you, Charles. The next meeting role is grammarian, and tonight, Alia will help us better our language proficiency. Alia associates feelings with the word home. Home has always been something she feels. For instance, when she was young, her grandma used to bake a lot. Therefore, the smell of freshly baked biscuits and bread filled the whole house. Let's welcome the grammarian, Toastmaster Alia Ishra, with our thumbs up feature. Over to you, Alia.
Hello, Toastmasters and guests. As the grammarian, it is my duty to listen carefully and pay close attention to any grammatical errors and any captivating words, thoughts, phrases, or sayings. Now, I would like to introduce the word of the day, which is genial, pronounced as genie, but genial. It's an adjective, simply carries the definition of cheerful or friendly. Yeah. With that, each speaker is encouraged to use the word of the day, and I will be giving my grammarian report later in the meeting. Thank you. That is all from me. Back to you, Lawrence.
Thank you so much, Alia. Similar to Mayan, Akila thinks that home is a place filled with love. When she was overseas, she couldn't celebrate the month of Ramadan with her family. Nonetheless, she still made the effort to celebrate with her housemates, which was indeed heartwarming for her. Let's welcome the Art Counter and Who Said What, Toastmaster Akila, with a genial smile, everyone.
Thank you, Lawrence, for the genial introduction. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and beloved guests. The purpose of the counter is to note words and sounds that are used as crutch or filler words by everyone who speaks tonight. During the meeting, I will listen to overused words, including and, well, but, so, and, you know. I will also listen for filler words such as and all at the same time. I will take note when a speaker repeats a word or phrase such as I, or this means, and so on. At the end of the meeting, I will report the number of times that each speaker used these expressions. And for the Who Said What session, I will be asking a few questions about the content delivered by any speakers tonight, just to test everyone's active listening. Therefore, make sure you pay attention. And back to you, Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you so much, Akila. Throughout the meeting tonight, there will be a member to keep track of time, and that member is Toastmaster Mariam Anwar. Mariam perceived that family is equivalent to a home. When she was studying and working abroad, she always called her mom to cope with her homesickness. Now, let's click the clap button to welcome our timer and tip, Toastmaster Mariam.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. So as timer tonight, I will only time the table topic speakers and the evaluations. I will also alert each speaker of the time they have left. My background will change color to green, yellow, and red, which denotes specific time is remaining. For table topic speakers, should limit their remarks to no more than 2 minutes. At 1 minute, the background will change to green. And then at 1 minute 30 seconds, the background will change to yellow. And then at 2 minutes, the background will change to red. A heads up for the table topic speakers. Any speakers that exceed the time 2 minutes and 30 seconds, I will stop you from continuing. So for individual evaluations, the timer, grammarian, R counter, and Who Said What should be between 2 to 3 minutes. So at 2 minutes, the background will change to green. At 2 minutes and 30 seconds, the background will change to yellow. And at 3 minutes, the background will change to red. Announcement for the table topic, best table topic should be within a minute only. And for the table topics evaluation and general evaluator should be between 3 to 4 minutes. So at 3 minutes, the background will change to green. At 3 minutes and 30 seconds, the background will change to yellow. And at 4 minutes, the background will change to red. For all the evaluators, if you exceed more than 30 seconds after the background changes to red, the evaluators will not be eligible for voting. So tip for tonight, if you see the yellow background, slow down to wrap up your speech or report. Thank you, and back to you, Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you so much for the tip, Mariam. The next role player is the quality surveyor of our meeting tonight. Aside from that, he's also our Vice President of Education, who has been wholeheartedly committed to his duties and tasks. Megat shares the same opinion with Mariam. He is also a family-oriented person. The way he dealt with homesickness is astounding, as he actually went back to Malaysia and brought his family here. Hence, no more homesickness is felt. Everyone, please click the heart button to welcome our General Evaluator, Effective Coaching Level 3, Motivational Strategies Level 1, Megat Arif.
Thank you so much for the genial introduction, Toastmaster of the evening. Fellow Toastmasters, beloved guests, good evening. The purpose of the General Evaluator is to evaluate everything that takes place throughout the meeting. Now, during the meeting itself, I will take note on everything that happens and what didn't happen. For example, were the guests welcome upon arrival? Was the room set up on time? I will also evaluate each participant on the meeting program and look for good examples of preparation, delivery, and performance of duties. Last but not least, I will be the one who will be facilitating the third segment of the meeting, which is the evaluation session. I look forward to a fruitful and educational learning experience, and hopefully you will not expurge the feedback from your memory. Back to you, Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you so much, Megat. Now we are done with the introduction of role players. Zoom Master, can you please go to the next slide? As I would now like to briefly go through the program of tonight's meeting. Our meeting is divided into two segments today. The first segment is table topic session, which will last for 35 minutes. After that, we will be having a break for 10 minutes. The second segment of the meeting is the evaluation session, which will be facilitated by our general evaluator. Ladies and gentlemen, Chap Gome, you can see Chinese families sitting down to have a meal together. You will also see many homes gaily decorated with red lanterns and bright lights to mark the end of the Spring Festival. Being away from home sometimes gives me homesickness, which reminded me of a quote. Zoom Master, can you please go to the next slide? The quote is, "It's not the furniture of the house that gives you warmth, but the people inside it." On the same note, joining Toastmasters is not just about giving speeches and evaluating, but also about making connection with the people here. Isn't it similar to a heartwarming home? Now, I would like to pass the floor to our table topic master, presentation mastery proficient, team collaboration level 2, Lai Ling Ling. Over to you, Ling Ling.
Thank you very much, Lawrence. And we're in for quite a night of houses and homes. Now, my table topics tonight are going to be centered around homes, and you'll have two choices of quotes or questions. So make your choice when I call you up here. We've got a couple of eager volunteers. So for my first participant, I'd like to invite Miss Congeniality herself, all the way from Otters, Bhuvi Rubachandran.
Hello, that was wonderful.
Hi,
it's raining
Bhuvi.
table topics.
All right, Bhuvi, would you like a quote or a question tonight?
Question.
All right, a question for you. Bhuvi, what is the difference between a house and a home? What is the difference between a house and a home, Bhuvi?
Good evening, everyone. What is the difference between house and a home? Well, house is just four walls. Home is a feeling like, you are being loved, you're being taken care of. Home is somewhere, a place where you want to go back again and again. For me, right now, if I think about anything, is home is where my husband stays. Home is where he lives, because I have experienced being alone for 1 year with my kids, me and my kids, and my husband staying here. It was like on the flight when I, we got the approval of coming to Brunei. The butterflies that I had while traveling, it was, I don't have any words to explain. It was like, oh, I'm going back to my husband. That was the one most important thing for myself. So that is home for me, a feeling of being loved, being taken care of, feeling of, little things they do for you and they show it again and again, over and over again. And addition to that, I have a new member in the family, my cat. I love to come back home. Anywhere I go, my mind will be always, what is my cat doing? Because I love the way he nuzzles on my face early in the morning and wake me up in 5 o'clock in the morning saying it's time to play, come on. The love, the unconditional love that my pet gives, that is what I love the most. And I think it cannot be, there is no word or any sentence in the book anywhere you cannot find out the actual expression of home. Everybody has their own version and definition of home. For me, home is where my family is. Back to you, table topic of the evening. Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you very much, Bhuvi. I wholeheartedly agree with you. If I had a husband, that will be my home too. All right. I shouldn't be amusing myself like this, but thank you very much, Bhuvi. We'll now move on to the next table topic speaker of the evening. We've got quite a pool of people to choose from. Oh, don't be so shocked, Lawrence. You could be my husband too if you wanted to, but no, you don't want to be my home. Anyway. Anyway, moving on from that, I think since we have someone from Otters, can we have someone from UBD to round off the pot? So we've got Sidra and Jarek here. Jarek, would you like to give it a shot? Table topic just for you.
Yeah, sure. I'm sorry I couldn't open my camera because I'm actually in the car. But okay, sure.
All right, Jarek, you have a choice between a quote and a question. Which would you pick, Jarek?
I would go for the question, I guess.
All right. Jarek, what would your dream home look like? What would your dream home look like, Jarek?
Dream home look like. Okay. The question is, what would my dream home look like? To start off, to begin with, basically, I did think of this for quite a few times before, as I was quite young, and you know how we are young, and then we tend to have a lot of imaginations, even wild imaginations, even though it might not happen in the future. But it's quite wise for us to actually imagine something that when we were young, because from there we actually have a dream to pursue. And going back to the question, what would my dream house look like? I would say my dream house would look, basically, I've always wanted a two-story house, basically just a simple, but usually the common type of house, two-story house, and probably the color would be blue from the outside, because my favorite color is blue, because the blue reminds me of the sky, and blue reminds me of something of the sky that I would want to reach to. So basically, to be more than usual, something amazing, spectacular than ever. And other than that, I would say I would have an aquarium inside the house, because I'm a fish lover. So I do tend to take care of fish like guppies, goldfish especially. Other than that, I would say I would have a large garage, because I'm a car fan as well. So like Ferraris, Lambo, Rolls Royce probably in the future, if I can. And other than that, I would say I would want to have a lot of rooms, because I am a family person. So I would want a lot of relatives to actually go to my home at the weekends, and probably I think that's all. So yeah, that would be my dream home. Thank you. That is all from me.
Oh, Jarek. If you ever do have that dream home, please remember to invite me as well. I would love to test drive one of your Lambos. Just saying, I pray for you. Just remember me when you get there, all right? So that was Jarek. We've got quite a marathon to get through, and this was just the first leg. So here to pass the baton on to our third runner of the evening, Adib, I see you right here on the screen. Would you care to unmute yourself and tackle one of these questions?
Sure.
All right. Hi, Adib.
Hi.
Would you like a quote or a question? No one's picked a quote here. I swear these are like really easy cliched quotes. You're still gonna pick a question.
I rather pick a question.
I knew it. I knew it. No one wants a quote about home. All right. Okay. Adib, have you lived in your house for a while now?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. What changes have your house gone through since you have started living there? What changes has your house gone through since you have started living there? Adib.
I was always nervous when doing table topic. Thank you for having me tonight, Ling Ling. Good evening, everyone. So, what are the changes my house gone through from ever since I lived there? So I would pick my my parents' home. So because I know it the longest. So we live at inside that house for over since I was 9 years old. So before, in the beginning, it always the house is quite small, so it's just like I think 3 rooms, one kitchen, one living room, and 2 toilets. Yes. And after years has passed, it become very big. I don't know why my parents, well, especially my mother, want a big house. Well, it's really big. How can I describe how big it is? We have when you enter, you need to go through like 5 to 6 doors before you can go to my room. That's how big it is. It's not actually big. It's just that there's so many sections which I need to go through before I can go to my room. So that's how big it is. So so the first changes there after the first build, that they have my the whole big room for us, and then after the big room, and then they were cheated and by some developer, they extend the house with a 2 living room, and then now because my parents old, they they extend the house with a lower compartment. So it's quite a changes from the beginning until now, and I don't know how I can clean that house actually if I am alone. That's the summary. Okay, then back to you, Ling Ling.
All right, thank you very much, Adib. That's quite a change from back then till now. I gotta say, this table topic questions are giving me ample opportunity to start inviting myself to all of your houses. I really want to go to your house now, Adib. When all this like COVID stuff is over, remember me for Hari Raya, all right? I really want to see like your house with like 5, 6 doors. All right, that's Adib for you. Now we are on to our 4th speaker of the evening. We've got just the one guest for tonight. So I'd like to extend this next one to Hakim. You've seen 3 people do it before you. Would you like to give it a try?
Sure, would love to.
Oh, he'd love to, right? We'd love to have you here as well, Hakim. Now, quote or question?
I'm gonna do quote since previously a lot of people already done.
Yes! Everyone, guys, take notes. This is the man right here. He's braver than all of you all combined, all right? Anyway, so this is a question for you tonight, Hakim. Home is what you take with you, not what you leave behind. Home is what you take with you, not what you leave behind. Hakim.
From my understanding, from the quote, it's something that you always bring around with you and something that you cannot left behind, which is true. Because for me, it's when something that behind, when you're moving, for example, my experience when I study in Thailand, I feel like I got all my necessaries for clothing, food, and money and everything. But when I went there and just stayed there for like 6 months, I still feel something left out. I thinking back, like I got all my clothes, I got all my necessities and everything, but I feel like there's something leaving behind that is important for me to bring here. And what I found out, that what I left behind at Brunei was actually my family, because it's something that I cannot live without them. Yes, I can move to a different place, but I cannot bring my family to there as well. So to keep to this sensation, this feeling like feeling home, is that I just have to contact with my. There's a lot of the things that we can bring with us, but there's some things that we cannot actually bring physically, but we still can find ways to make sure we have connection and things, make sure that we can feel comfort as if we're bringing them with us. So like when I experienced living in Thailand, it was a bit silent. Like I was living alone. I have a gay roommate who's not really helpful for me during that time. So I guess, but when I reached out to my family, everything was being like, I'll talk about family and everything, talking to my other family members. Everyone was being so genial, like, hey Kim, like, is it fun in Thailand? Like, oh, this is this. It was a fun experience for me. Like, that's something that I cannot live without, something that I cannot bring. But as long as I find a way to connect with them, it's something that I will cherish forever. So I will ask you back this question. What do you think? What do you think that you cannot live without when you move to another place? What is the one thing that you cannot live without? That is all. Thank you.
Whoa, Hakim, I was not prepared for you to hit that hard tonight. Yeah, what can I live without? I don't know. That's something that I gotta soul search. But I can tell you one thing, Hakim. While you were over there missing your family, I'm sure they were missing you too. So moving on from Hakim. Hakim was the fourth speaker. We actually had a volunteer. Now, this person actually texted me right at the beginning, but I've been saving him for now. And it's Shahnor. He's the Zoom master, but he also wants a table topic tonight. I guess someone wants to compete, huh? So Shahnor, would you want to come over and try a table topic? What do you want, quote or question?
Let's do quote.
Okay, now I know you want to compete now. All right.
Okay.
I got this one for you. Okay. Sometimes home is a person. Shahnor. Sometimes home is a person. Shahnor.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Sometimes home is a person. What a lovely quote. I wonder why she would give this quote to me. So recently, I got married. So somewhere around June last year. And as a married person, if you're Bruneian, you get to live in two houses, one in your house and one in your wife's house. But since we're living together, I get to live by my wife. So wherever I go, wherever I live with her, I'm in home. So so that is the person that I'm living with, whom I thought is my home. She's sitting right beside me right now. I'm sure she's crying. So why my wife is my home? Because we've been together before we're getting married, like for 5 years. I feel like she's the one of the people in my life who really understand me so well, also including my mom. And she knows how I feel. She knows what I'm thinking. Even if I look gloomy, she would understand what's happening in my mind. So to have that person in my life and sitting together in our home makes me feel like
I'm at home, I would say. So I'm really blessed to be living together with the person whom I love the most in my life, the one who understands me. So the person is is the is your home, basically it. Back to you.
Chef Noor, thank you so much for saying that. And hi to the wife. I'm sure she really felt that speech right now. You owe me one, buddy. I bet you didn't get her anything for yesterday Valentine's, huh? This is your gift right now. You owe me one. Right. So that was Chef Noor, everybody. Interesting enough, while Chef Noor was speaking, I got a couple of requests from people from the floor to come in. So can I ask the next person to come out? And that is Magat. Magat actually asked for a table topic. So Magat, would you mind unmuting yourself right now and taking on a quote or a question?
I'd love to take a question. I'm gonna go easy. Don't give me hard question.
All right. Magat, what changes would you like to make to your home? What changes would you like to make to your home, Magat?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, Toastmasters and guests. Plus one. I'm talking about home. Literally, what would changes I want to make to my home or house is, okay, I live in a bungalow house, but it's always been a dream for me to live in an apartment, because why? I love to, when I wake up in the morning, to see the view from, way high up. So what changes that I would love to change in my home now is just to add another story or 2 more stories, or if I'm capable, I would like to add like 7 more stories. So then when I wake up every morning, I like to spend my time at the veranda, have my coffee, and look at the skies. That's one of my lifelong dreams is, wake up in the morning and to spend time in the veranda alone or with someone, depends on what time or day is it, what year is it. So yeah, that's the one thing that I would love to change my house, is to add another few stories, so that I can achieve my dreams to wake up every morning at the veranda, or maybe to move my house right beside the beach so I can spend better time, during sunrise or sunset. And with that, thank you. Back to the table topics master.
All right, thank you very much, Magat. Magat, who would like to add more stories to his house so he can start a story with someone. I just saying, but it's okay. We'll get to that later on. You know my number. You can call me later. Anyway, let's move on to the next speaker, who also volunteered himself. Can I get a hi from Adlan from the floor? Adlan, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Hey,
oh, sorry.
Hey,
sorry. I need to reel in that excitement.
I got you.
Feeling
I got
quite genial.
Eesh. All right. Okay, you are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You're the 7th speaker, and you can choose between quotes or questions. You got plenty of both.
Let's go for quotes.
Excellent. All right, Adlan, the best thing about going away is coming home again. The best thing about going away is coming home again. Adlan.
The best thing about going away is coming back home again. That quote does resonate with me to a certain level, because I did spend a majority of my youth, I'm still young, but I was younger, traveling around the globe. I was in Thailand for quite a moment as well, just like Hakim. Sawadee Krap, Sabai Dimai. I was in Japan. I was also in Vietnam. That was the longest. And each time I come back to Brunei, to my family, I would bring all these stories to them. And I realized that going far, collecting all those stories only matters if there is someone that you can tell them to. You can go all over the world, collect all those stories. If you do not have anyone to tell them to, then they just remain as your personal memories. And getting to share that with someone is an amazing feeling. And those people are my family. And who knows, maybe in the future, there might be someone else that I could share it with. And I can see Ling Ling is going there. Yep, Ling Ling, I'm going there as well. I'll meet you at the destination. With that, thank you, everyone. Back to you, Table Topic Master.
Oh, wow, Adlan. Thank you for sharing that with everyone. Really, thank you. I'm just thinking that this was supposed to be about home, but people are using it like a Valentine's Day opportunity. Wow, guys, I'm really liking this. Y'all are going on my list. I mean, y'all are, there's no list. I'm sorry, guys. The list is for me. So moving on from Adlan, that was not awkward at all. We've got 7 speakers. I just want to check with our timer tonight. Are we going for 8 or 10 tonight? Ooh. Mariam, do we have time?
We have another 11 minutes.
Excellent. I think we can squeeze in 3 more. All right. So TTE, take note, that'll be 5 per person. Excellent, because I got more to come. All right. Do we have any volunteers before I start calling names? Going once, going twice. All right, no volunteers. That means that the next person is going to be Sidra. Sidra, are you there?
Yes, hello.
Excellent. Hi, Sidra. Would you like a quote or a question?
A question.
Excellent. All right, Sidra, this one is for you. Sidra, what is your favorite room and why? Sidra, what is your favorite room and why?
A room in my house, you mean? Oh, okay, yeah. I don't have a favorite room in my house because I'm an immigrant and the house that I live in is a rented house. So I don't really feel at home in this house. When I go back to India, however, I feel like I'm at home. And my favorite room, well, in India, the house structures are extremely different. We have like in the middle of the house, you have like an open air area, like where there's no roof. And I really like that because we just sit down with my grandmother or my cousins and we just sit down under the open sky and it feels very, very nice. What else? Wait, can I see the timer, guys? I can't see the timer. Okay, yeah. And then that's what I really like about my home in India. I actually don't like to stay in one room for a long period of time. I like to move around in my house and make sure everything is in order. Yes, that's all. Thank you.
All right, Sidra, thank you so much for sharing that with us. I think just staying under the stars is such a nice sentiment. I couldn't agree with you more. All right, after Sidra, we've got 2 more speakers, spots for 2 more speakers. We do have a couple of visiting Toastmasters from outside of Brunei, so I'd just like to extend this to John. John, if you are there, would you mind taking on a topic?
Yes, of course.
All right, excellent, John. Would you like a quote or question? Happy to have you here, by the way.
Question.
Question. Great, great, great. All right, this one is for you. Where would be the ideal place to live? Where would be the ideal place to live, John?
Wait, I will open my cam. I'm working by the way, so yeah. Thank you. Toastmaster Lei Ling Ling. Where's the place what is the question? What's the question?
Where would be the ideal place to live?
The place. I think because of we are still living in the earth, I think the ideal place to live is wherever you stay now. I mean, because whatever you are, who you are, you're supposed to be purpose, and where you're staying, wherever you are now, is the right place to live. And I mean, just do the right thing, do the good things, make your surrounding place, your environment getting better because of your access things. That's my perspective about the ideal place. Yeah, I repeat again, the ideal place is where you are staying now. Yes, thank you, Toastmaster Lei Ling Ling. To you.
All right, thank you very much, John. And thank you for coming to Brunei Speakers Club as well. You know, I'm really interested to know where is it you live that you wouldn't want to live anywhere else, and wondering how I can get an invitation to get there.
Yeah, I'm living in Bali.
No wonder Bali is super cool, man. No wonder you don't want to live anywhere else. I want to take it to Bali. All right, so that was John, everyone. We're now going to move on to our last speaker of the evening, who has kindly volunteered herself. Can we please give a big round of applause to the genial Gustika?
Hello.
Hi, Gusti. Am I saying your name right? Do I call you Tika, Putri, Gustika?
You can call me by Tika.
Tika. All right, nice to meet you, Tika. Never met you before, but this is what Toastmasters is about, expanding our contacts and making new friends. All right, quote or question?
I'd like to try the quote, please.
Ooh, all right, here's one for you. Tika, home is a shelter from the storms. Home is a shelter from the storms. Tika.
I'm sorry, is that storm STORM?
That's correct.
Home is a shelter for the storm. What a lovely and a deep meaning for that in that quote. When I was a kid, I used to think that having a big home with lots of facilities like swimming pool, your own movie theater, your own bathroom where you can have your own privacy is the best thing in the world. But as I grow up, I realized that home is not necessarily just a thing. The real home is actually not a thing. It's actually an emotional feeling. Like someone has ever mentioned before, home is not a place. Home is, it could be everywhere. The feeling that you get everywhere, even though you are in different city, different countries, you're going to get the feelings of home. And related to that quote, home is where where you can feel more, where you can feel relief. So I would like to suggest, I would like to relate storm as the situation when we feel overwhelmed, when we feel hurt. And I realized as I grow up that uh, home is not just a facility. Home is a place where we can meet a person that makes you feel relief and makes you feel like yourself. That's for me. How about you? What do you think about home? Is that just a facility or is it an emotional feeling? That's
Thank you
back to
very
you.
much, Christika.
Yes.
That was such a heartfelt story and a fitting end to the table topics tonight. What does home mean to you? We've had a lot of sharing from all the speakers tonight, and I just like to congratulate and thank everyone who opened up themselves and their vulnerabilities with all of us tonight. I think we all found a little piece of home within each other's topics tonight. That said, we are going to open a voting now. We've got 10 table topic speakers, and therefore we're going to vote for our favorites out of that 10. Will it be Boovie, who has a home full of love with husbands and cats? Oh, I mean, a husband and a cat. Next was Jarek, who has a love of blue things like fish and blue Lamborghinis and blue Ferraris. After that was Adib, who gave us a very detailed floor plan, which I'm totally not going to take advantage of. Hakim, who led also a very interesting life in Thailand indeed. And after that was Shah Noor, who's very much in love with his wife. Blink twice if you need help, Shah Noor. Next is Magat, who wants to add 5 or 6 stories to his house, to which I say, Magat, just live in an apartment. That will save you so much money. Next is Adlan, who is a supremely well-traveled man who always thinks of home in the end. After that was our 8th speaker, Sidra, whose favorite room is waiting for her back home with her family. 9th speaker was John, who lives in the magical land of Bali. Get it? Because he's from Magical Bali Toastmasters Club. Great club, by the way. Definitely visit. And lastly, Tika, who we just met just now. Home is a shelter from the storms, and her speech was a shelter from the ongoing trappings of our daily lives. Right, that's all for tonight. I hope you all voted because I can't wait to see who has taken home the jackpot tonight. That's all for table topics. I now pass the floor back to the host, Lawrence Powell. Lawrence, to you.
Thank you so much, Ling Ling, for the spellbinding table topic session. Now, timer, may I know how much time we have for the break?
We can have 10 minutes. We are on time for the table topics.
So we can have 10 minutes, am I right?
Yes, 10 minutes.
Okay, everyone, it's 8:33 now. The meeting will resume at 8:43. Thank you, everyone. But before that, Zoom Master, are we going to take a group photo now? Meeting. Welcome back, everyone. Here comes the second segment of our meeting, the evaluation session, which will be facilitated by the man who prioritizes his family. Let's welcome Effective Coaching Level 3, Motivational Strategies Level 1, Megat Arif.
Good evening again, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the evaluation session. Now, let's move without further ado. Let's move on to our first table topics evaluator. Let's invite Innovative Planning Level 1, Lim Mei An.
Thank you, General Evaluator Mega, for introducing me and bringing me back to the virtual stage. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I have 5 table topic speakers. The ones that I'm evaluating are the odd ones. So they are Bhuvi, Adib, Shanor, Adlan, and John. I did say earlier in the meeting that I'll be looking for 2 things. Number 1 is structure, and the second one I'm looking for is feeling, because it's kind of apt for this week, really, with a mix of the Valentine's and Chinese New Year festivities. Right, without further ado, let me start with Bhuvi. Booby, I like how you're so sure of yourself. There's a clear-cut difference between a house and a home. You went straight for it. You told me that a house is a structure, four walls with a roof, it's just where you stay. Whereas the home, you elaborated about the feelings associated with home. It's about being loved and taken care of. And to paraphrase you, what you're trying to say is home is where your family is, especially with your husband's there. And it's a place where there's lots of affection and love, providing security and stability. And based on this paraphrase, I give you a rating of 5 on the sentimental level. 5 out of 5. I really enjoyed your table topics. And I hope my home is always managed in such a way, with or without a husband, single or married, I will always want to have lots of affection with my pet dogs. And I hope everyone is stable and secure in my home. Pets and humans. Adit, yeah, the next table topic speaker. You have question asked, what changes have your house gone through? And for structure, I have to say it was really good because you gave us a chronological idea and we have a good picture of the size of your home, from how small it was and how your home is dictated by the matriarch. Your mom is the real boss of the house. I also like how you be able to articulate the space of it, especially with very detailed examples, like in order to get to your room, you have to go through 5 sections of the home just to reach your comfort space. So thank you for sharing. With feelings, I could only give a rating of 2 because it was a very descriptive, because your table topic is a very descriptive description of a literal house. I think to have more feels, it would have been nice if you could talk about the changes in the household, in the people in your home, like how have they grown up over the home. It would have been a change. It will be a valid change that answers the topic as well. But that is not as relevant because, feeling is subjective and that's just my personal preference. But structure-wise, very good. I enjoyed how you take me through a tour of your home. The next person that I'm evaluating is Shanur. And Shanur dealt with the quote, sometimes home is a person. It was interesting table topic content because we know that it's predictable and we know who is going to talk about. But what adds the sauce this time and what was different was how there was sincerity and earnesty in him sharing his heart that his wife is someone who should be able to understand him and who does understanding and who share things with. So for that, I think on a score of structure and feelings, Shanur gets a 4 out of 5. The next person is Adlan. Adlan has sort of like a quote. The great thing about traveling is being able to come home. And I could relate to, actually I resonate a lot with what Adlan said because possibly because both of us are the extrovert types, and so I really resonated when he said collecting stories, if it's only for self, it's just a memory. But when we want to create intimacy and connection with people, we have to share our stories, and not just sharing stories. Adlan made me think about Valentine's, and it's about sharing connection and vulnerability. So it's very typical signature Adlan style to make you think a bit more deeply on the situation. Thank you very much. And you have a feels rating of 3.5. Last but not least, we have John, who has, where is the best place to live, in which he lives in Bali. Now, Bali is a very beautiful place. I love it. Ubud, the beaches, water bomb. But you gave a very literal description of the place where you think is best to live. And I think to help improve, it would be nice if you could associate a story, a very personal story of why one example, one personal example of why Bali is the best place to live. For example, it could be Bali is where I grew up with so many friends, and all of these friends and my families have contributed to me always wanting to stay with Bali. For example. And with this, I will return the floor to our general evaluator, Megat. Thank you for having me tonight on Top Gourmet.
Thank you so much, Mayan, and great to have you back in the meeting. Now, without further ado, let's move on to the next table topics evaluator. Let us invite Toastmaster Charles Buck.
Thank you, Mega. I'm going to go straight into it because we had 5 speakers tonight. I'm going to start off with Jarek. Jarek, I think I've seen you do a table topic before. So I'm going to start off with just a very good strength of yours is that you're very good at what we call signposting. You're telling me where you're going. So when you started your speech, you said to start off. I remember when in the past, I used to dream about, and you told us about your house. And then when you did drift off a little bit, you said, going back to my house, let me describe it. And you spoke about a 2-story house. You wanted blue and an aquarium and in a garage. So your signposting is really, really good. However, the amount of things that you list, maybe focus on three big ideas and try to develop them. So you mentioned you would like an aquarium. Why would you like an aquarium? It's kind of like an odd thing. Do you have this great fascination with fish? Maybe describe this aquarium. Would it take up a whole room? So I think just for you, something to work on is maybe instead of listing so many ideas, just develop them a little bit more. But in terms of your signposting, and I know where you're going, you're very, very good. Okay, thank you, Jarek. So those are those 2 things. So 1, good signposting, and then maybe the weakness is just the development of a chunkier idea. Next, Hakeem. You said home is what you take with you, not what you leave behind. Yes, that's right. That was Jarek. This is Hakeem. Hakeem, for me, your strength is you went straight into your experience in Thailand. And for many people, when something is a unique experience, it sort of gets your audience interested. So that was very nice. The only problem, maybe the weakness you could maybe work on is the question was, home is what you take with you, not what you leave behind. And you mentioned how you left behind your family. And I think you were trying to say that you left behind your family, but you took their memories with you. And I think that got a little bit lost because you went and talked about your roommates and how you had a fun experience, but I didn't really get the feeling of you were addressing the topic of, okay, I left my family behind, but they're still with me. And this is how I went with that. So for me, the good thing is you gave me your experience and I like that. And something you can maybe work on is maybe just develop that idea of you had it, but you didn't really address the topic, that portion. Okay, Megat, this is for you. One thing I really like about the way you're a natural speaker, and so your humor is very good. I think you had a very nice where you said you wanted to be alone in your home, and you said maybe +1 depending on the time, depending on your mind. It's quite humorous. So I think your humor is very good, and that's a trait that comes across. But for me, I would, again, you similar to Hakeem, your ideas, you just said, well, the main idea was the view. You can have a double story, and you didn't develop why you wanted a nice view. This is something you've always wanted. 7 stories, astronomical, very funny. But you told us you lived in a bungalow. You didn't really describe it. Why would you want to leave it? Why would you want an apartment? That's all missing because of the detail. So I would give a little bit more detail. So your strength, humor, very good. Weakness, just that lacking detail. It's kind of not there. But by and by, your humor pushes you through. So very nice. The next person, Sidra. I'm just looking to see if I can see Sidra. So Sidra, what is your favorite room and why? Your strong point, very similar to Hakeem, your personal experience. When you mentioned your favorite room is actually in India, I was like, wow, this is very different. And you described it. You mentioned the open sky. So I think your strength is that personal experience, and you did it so well. The only weakness, I think, is at the end, I think you were looking for time and then you didn't really finish. You said, well, I don't stay in one room too long and I like to move around. And you even looked for the timer like I'm doing now. I know I'm on red, but that was the kind of the weakness, is that your ending, you rushed it. And I think, because you got so developed in your experience, and that's your good point. Last one, Tika. I know I'm going to run out of time, but you said home is a shelter from the storms. What I liked about your delivery or your strength is you were very good with your personal experience as well. You said, when I was a kid, I used to think this, but as I grew older, I now think it's a feeling. And I think you're very good at telling that story. There's a rhetorical device that we call an antithesis, where you do opposites. So you said, when I was a kid, I wanted this. When I was an adult, I wanted this. And your structure is really, really good. So I thought that was very nice. Something you could maybe work on is towards the end as well. I think because of time, you, instead of showing me and developing your story, you told me, okay, don't you think this is what a feeling is? Or do you agree with me with my definition of what a storm is? So I would just work on that. By and large, all very good tonight. And I really like the personal experiences that people developed. Thank you. Back to you, Mega.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Charles Buck, for your evaluation. Now, next on the agenda, let us invite back the Table Topics Master, Presentation Mastery Proficient, Team Collaborator Level 2, Madam Lai Ling Ling, to the stage to announce who is the best Table Topics for tonight.
All right, thank you very much, Megat. Now 10 speakers, but they can only be one. You have spoken, you have voted, and someone has won. Drum rolls and the winner is Tika. All right, Tika. Congratulations on being the best table topic winner of tonight. Now, Tika, now you're right here. I hope you're ready, because we'd like to hear a 30-second acceptance speech from you. If you don't mind unmuting yourself and just saying a few words about your experience here tonight. Tika.
Hello.
There you are.
Actually, this is the first time I joined Toastmaster around this time, because I usually had work, but fortunately I had day off today, and I'm really glad to be a part of this meeting, and I can hear I can feel the vibes, and it's people are very friendly, and even though it's an online meeting, it feels like an offline meeting. So yeah, I'm really happy. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for visiting, Tika. We'd love to have you anytime, anywhere at Brunei Speakers Club. If you don't mind, you could drop us some of your club details so that we know where you're from, and maybe we can visit you in turn. So we'd love to know where you're from as well.
Oh, that's gonna be nice. I'm actually from Pekanbaru Toastmaster. We will have the online meeting as well on Sunday. So it's gonna be at 2 or to 4 p.m. on Sunday. So it will be nice if you come. Everyone is welcome. I'm gonna send you the detail here on the chat room.
Yes, that would be lovely, lovely. Thank you so much for visiting, Tika. I now pass the floor back to our general evaluator, Megat.
Thank you so much, Ling Ling, and congratulations to Gustika Putri for winning the Table Topics tonight. Now, ladies and gentlemen, timer, can you time me? So for my first part of the evaluation, I would love to evaluate the Table Topics speaker, Table Topics evaluator, Mayan and Charles. I would love also to add in this evaluation to evaluate the Table Topics masters as well. Now, at first, I would love to evaluate Mayan. Mayan, welcome back to the meeting. Hope you had a great night evaluating people tonight. All right, I love how you categorize your evaluation session tonight, which is you had the structure. And this is something that I believe this is something new that I have never seen anyone evaluate this before, which is you try to give a feedback of how you feel in this particular speech. So for me, that was really, really good because it is table topics. You are answering an impromptu questions, and it's always an evaluator. You will tell the particular speech of how that particular speech made you feel of that particular speech. So I like that. I think this is something that we can practice on as well. Which is giving the evaluators of how that speech makes you feel, because I always believe when you giving an evaluation of how that speech makes you feel, you will give a good feedback in which you did tonight. So, but you mentioned earlier as well, feeling is subjective and personal preference. And you as the evaluator, you give your subjective feedback and you give your own personal preference of how they can improve on that particular speech. So that was really good for me. And carry on with that. I think this is always, I think this one category of feel is something that the future table topics evaluator can also apply, which I agree as well. All right. Now next, Charles. Charles, earlier you mentioned you wanted to give feedback on strength and something that they can take home and work on. And you showed this to each and every of the speaker. You tell them what are their strength, and then you give us feedback of how we can work on this. For example, on the first speaker, you mentioned about, oh, your strength was experience. I like that. But what you need to develop is you need to address on the topic. Another speaker, which was me. Oh, you're very funny, Mugat. But you need to develop on your speech. So this is your feedback was very practical. It's something that I can take home and work on myself. And you were very specific on some of the speaker. For example, oh, you are good at signposting. Okay, but you didn't mention what is signposting for some other speakers, or maybe guests, they don't really understand what is actually signposting. That's really good. Just one feedback on you, Charles. I saw sometimes, not sometimes, most of the times, you're being repetitive. So this being repetitive makes you takes time. So and then you were concerned, oh, it's already red light. I need to juggle on my feedbacks more. So maybe sometimes you can phrase your words a bit better so you will not sound repetitive. So maybe this can prepare you for the evaluation contest later on. So just not, your feedback was really good. The way you summarized the speech was really good as well. But sometimes you can be repetitive on repetitive. Sorry, okay, that's what I'm doing as well. Correct. Good job to the both of the table topics evaluator. And last but not least, before I move on to the next evaluator, I would love to give my feedback on the table topics master. I cannot think of anyone else that could have done a better job in hosting an almost 30 minutes table topics session with such enthusiastic, with such energy, and great question as well. Congratulations, Ling Ling. A great question, unique question on house, and it was a really good question that I wanted to participate in myself. I love how this is something that Ling Ling can only do. Sometimes most of the table topics master, we summarize. During the transition, we like to summarize what if the previous speaker has spoken. But Ling Ling, I think this is the Ling Ling style. She managed to relate. No, she managed to put herself in the picture of each of this particular speech. Oh, house, or maybe I can be in your house. Oh, 7 stories. Oh my God, I think I can be your story. This is something that only Ling Ling can do. But in summary, Ling Ling, I cannot think of anyone else that could have done a better job in hosting a 30 minutes table topics tonight. Thank you again and congratulations. Now, next, let's move on to the next evaluator. Can I invite Toastmaster Alia Inshira to present her grammarian report?
Hello again, people. So, I'll be presenting my grammarian report. Am I audible?
Yes,
right.
you are.
So there's a total of 6 people that has used the word of the day, and each of them has used once. There's Lawrence, Akila, Megat, Hakim, Adlan, and Lai Ling Ling. And by the way, I was away briefly to find a charger when Mariam was introducing her role. So I didn't quite catch what Mariam said, if she did use the word. Now, frankly, there is a plenty of sentences that has made me either blush or has made my heart race. As Lali Ling said, the table topic speakers lean towards more to the Valentine theme. So it's quite hot. Okay. So with that, my personal favorite sayings that were mentioned in the sessions was regarding their spouses, as I'm a romantic person myself as well, but only to the right person. And I did smell a bit of love in the air. Right. Now for the pronunciation errors. There are a number of pronunciation errors like genial and genial. So guests and toasties, do remember that it's supposed to be pronounced as genial. Like you're saying, like you're about to say genie, like genie in a bottle, like in the Aladdin movie, but without, but tambah, oh, wait, but at al, yeah. As for the grammatical errors, for Adib, you said, I don't know how I can clean that house. It's not quite correct. I suggest you use the word would instead. As for Putri, you mentioned in your table topic, what a lovely and deep meaning for the quote. It's not particularly a meaning, but rather an expression. And you also tried to articulate your sentence in a past tense form. So you mentioned is instead of was when you talked about your past perception of home. So do you remember that it's supposed to be used as was? And I believe that's all for my report. Back to you, Magat. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Alia, for your grammarian report. Now, next we have the counter and who said what, one of the sessions that most of us are waiting for. Now, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, please invite Toastmaster Atila Shafiqah to present her counter and who said what.
Hello, welcome back again, everyone. So for tonight, we have actually quite a good number of speakers that doesn't use lots of crutch or filler words. We started off very good with the introductions. In the table topic session, we have Jarek, Shahnor, Sidra, John, and Putri that use just a few couples of words that includes and a few repeated words. But for going toward the evaluation session, that's where all the are coming out. So we have, there you go, Mayan. We have 2 dental clicks from you, Miss Dental Clicks. We have 1 repeated it from you. Your favorite is same as mine as well. You have 8 of those, and you have 4 of us. For Charles, you have 2 and 1 and another 2 repeated words. As for Alia, you are very good in your introductions as well, and you just stumble upon an when you stumble on something earlier on. So that is about it for the counter session. Now we are going forward to the who said what session. Oh, please, by the way, please do tell me if the time is up because I can't see videos. My internet is lagging. So just give me a warning. So let's start with the who said what. So what night is it today in the Chinese calendar celebration? Oh, sorry. Please everyone unmute yourself. Okay, let me just repeat again. What night is it?
Family get together.
Yes, it's Chap Gourmet. So who cooked or attempted the Jollibee spaghetti, Tian Tian chicken
Ling
rice at
Ling.
Ling.
Yes, indeed. Ling Ling did attempted those. And now who had a cat as a new member of the family?
Movie.
Yes. Say hello to your cats for me, Booby. And what does the color blue remind Jarek of?
The sky.
The sky, indeed. It reminds him of the sky. And who is braver than us all combined tonight? During
Hakim.
tabletop
Hakim.
question.
Also
Yes, Hakim. Congratulations for taking up the challenge, getting the quotes tonight. Now, who lives in the best place?
Megan.
John.
John.
John, yes, he lived in the magical land of Bali. And
Oh,
now
Bali.
they move around in their home.
Adib.
It's Sidra. She has a lot of rooms and she loves to go through them back in India, I believe. Now, that's all from me, and back to you, Megan.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Akila, for that lovely counter and who's at what session. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's move on to the next evaluator. We have the timer and tip. The timer and tip, let us invite Toastmaster Mariam Anwar to give her timer and tip.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Okay, let me start the time for myself. Okay, for the table topics, Buvi, you took 2 minutes 5 seconds. Jarek, you are within time 1 minute 56 seconds. For Adib, you took 2 minutes 29 seconds. Hakim, 2 minutes and 18 seconds. Shanur took 1 minute and 45 seconds. Adlan took 1 minute 42 seconds. Sidra took 1 minute, same like Adlan as well, 1 minute 42 seconds. John, you took 1 minute 25 seconds. And Gustika, 1 minute 55 seconds. For the evaluators, Lim Mei An took 5 minutes and 43 seconds. For Charles, you took 5 minutes and 38 seconds. For Alia, 2 minutes and 19 seconds. Akila, just now, 3 minutes and 16 seconds. And then Megat took 4 minutes and 59 seconds. For Ling Ling, a total with Gustika, a total of 2 minutes. So for the eligible for voting will be Akila. Thank you. Back to you, General Evaluator. Myself is 1 minute and 10 seconds only. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Mariam Anwar. Now I shall give my final evaluation for tonight. Timer, can you time me? Ready? Timer? Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Now let's me first give my feedback to our grammarian Toastmaster Alia Inshira. Alia, I think you have that zest personality when you give your report. I love when you started the video. So let me give my report tonight. And then you have that, that GT inside of you. That was really good. It was a really good report. I have no suggestions, no further suggestions of how you give your report. It was good. You told us how many words of the day was being mentioned, what are the good usage of the English, and what are some things that we can improve on in our English. Maybe you can try to find more of an examples that you can suggest us of how to use that proper English much better. I think in my own observation and listening tonight, I think there was a lot of English that could be improved on more. I think you can, try to adapt more of your listening skills and try to nitpick some of the particular English that can be improved on further, like myself. Okay, that was a great report. Congratulations to you. And I believe you have been taking grammarian role for a number of time already. So I would love to twice. I would love to challenge you to take up a different role, just to challenge yourself and see what you can do in Toastmasters to develop yourself. All right. Now, thank you so much, Alia. Next, we have the counter and who said what? Akila Shafiqah. Good job tonight, Akila. It was a really good. You've listened to all of the counter and all the filler words that have been mentioned tonight, and it was a great question tonight as well. Now, there's a few recommendations that I would love to give to you. Sometimes we give counter reports. We tell them how many counter that we've done, but most of us who delivered counter and who said what, we always fail to give feedback to people. What are the improvement that can be done? Okay, you've mentioned, like myself, Megat, you always say, you know. So maybe a few suggestions. Maybe this is a good suggestions to put to future content who said what as well. Maybe one part of your report is you can give us a suggestion how we can improve to lessen this particular filler words. And for your who said what? Akila, I have noticed that when you've taken this counter and who said what, you've taken the who said what too literal. Guys, who said this tonight? Who said this tonight? Who said that tonight? I know the name itself is who said what. Okay, that was really good. You're abiding with the law, but maybe sometimes you will see some other senior or seasoned Toastmasters that will try to twist this question like a mind-boggling question. So maybe that's something that you can challenge yourself later on when you take this role again. All right, thank you so much. And final role player, we have the timer and tip. Mariam, how many times have you taken this particular role? 3 times. Twice. Same as Alia. Good job. Great job tonight. You give us a very generic report how long we were speaking tonight, how many minutes and what sort and everything. What a timer should give her report as well. But a suggestion to you as well, maybe for the future timer and tip, maybe you can tell us, give us suggestions how we can improve our timing. Some of us went over time. Some of us spoke, very quickly, and then there were a lot of times that we can speak. So maybe you can try to find suggestions for us. Okay, Magat, you took a while giving your table topics. You took a while giving your evaluation. Maybe you can suggest to us, in your own opinion, how we can improve to give our speech or give our evaluation on time. That's what I'm doing now. I know I'm doing overtime. All right. Thank you so much, Maria Manua. Good job tonight. Good job to all of the role players tonight. Now, I would love to give my feedback again to the SAA. Adlan, we have missed you. You have missed the meeting for twice, 2 nights, 3 times already. Adlan is always a very enthusiastic person. He always greets the guests, and I love your jokes as well. So we missed you. Don't miss any nights. Again, we would love BSC meeting. You are the face of BSC. When you open up a meeting, you welcome them with a warm welcome with your jokes. You talk to everyone. You talk to the guests as well. Really good job, and we miss you. That's the only feedback I'm gonna give to you now. Don't miss any meeting. We missed you. We missed your welcoming to the guests. All right. Thank you so much, Adlan. Now next we have the person of the night, the Toastmaster of the evening, Lawrence. Lawrence, there's only 2 things that I want to give feedback to you is you are a very perfectionist TME. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you feel tonight was very smooth, everything went really, really good, it is only because Lawrence have put that effort behind the scene. He told us everything that we need to do. Guys, this is the scripts that you need to follow. Well, it's up to you if you want to follow it, but this is the guideline for you. Guys, can you check your name? Guys, can you be on time later? Guys, can you do this? Can you do that? Perfect preparation leads to a great session, a great meeting. So this is something that all of us can practice as well, which is our preparation. Sometimes we take it lightheartedly about preparations and the meeting doesn't go as well as what we planned. I believe tonight the meeting is how you plan it in your mind already. It's because why? It's because you did all the preparations, which is good. And you were I love how you introduce all the role players tonight. You were very smooth and very personalized. Of all the Toastmasters of the evening, you were the one of the Toastmasters who love to give questions before the meeting. Guys, can you answer this question because it will help me to introduce you? This is something that I think Ling Ling can agree to me. This is something that we always do back then. We ask questions, right? Then it can make the introduction more personalized. And we love those kind of introduction. And you've done this virtually, which is good. And congratulations to you. I love how you execute your hosting role tonight. And there's no other feedback I can give you tonight. It's a great session. I believe everyone loved it. In general, I believe tonight was a really, really great session. We have a 30-minute session of a table topics, which is something rare in BSC. We always have speech, always have workshop, we always have a speech, but tonight it's all full on table topics. I loved it. I believe looking from the chat, looking from the reaction I can see from the screens, from the start of the meeting even until now, I believe that all of the Toastmasters, especially the guest Toastmasters from outside Brunei, they enjoyed tonight's meeting, especially the table topics, and I hope you guys love my evaluation as well tonight. And with that, I will end the evaluation session and I will pass the floor back to the Toastmaster of the evening, effective coaching level 2, Lawrence Pang.
Thank you so much, Megat, for hosting the evaluation session. I suppose every one of us benefited greatly from the session. Now, before I pass the control of the meeting to our president, I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to the guests and the visiting Toastmasters members. Your presence have definitely given me so much confidence and support. Next, I would also like to thank the role players. Without your support and contribution, I wouldn't be able to host this meeting. First of all, thank you so much to Atlan for opening the meeting. A big thanks to Shano for admitting the guests, for controlling the slides, and for creating the post as well. The next person that I would like to thank is my mentor, who is also the table topics master today, Ling Ling. Thank you so much for the stimulating table topics session. It was indeed impressive. Okay, next. My heart goes to the two evaluators as well, May Ann and Charles. You both did a great job. Next, I would like to thank the grammarian Alia. Well chosen word of the day, and I enjoyed your report as well. Next, I would also like to thank Akila for standing in for Ying Ying at the 11th hour. Next, millions of thanks to Mariam as well, who actually joined the meeting way beforehand to test her virtual backgrounds. Last but not least, I would like to thank our VPE, Megat, for being the general evaluator. Can we all please give them a big round of applause? Last but not least, I hope everyone has felt warmth and gained some positive energy during the meeting. Remember, it's not the furniture of the house that gives you warmth, but the people inside it. Thank you, everyone. I shall now pass the floor to our president.
Hello and good evening again, ladies and gentlemen. And also thank you, Lawrence, for facilitating the entire meeting. Everyone, a round of applause to Lawrence for that wonderful meeting hosting, everyone. The bar is so high set by Lawrence. I hope all of us can reach to that bar. Okay, so I'm going to start off with the announcement of the next week TMB. So maybe we can invite the VPE, Megat Arif, to announce who will be the next week TME.
Good evening again, ladies and gentlemen. So next week TME is yet to be announced. Whoever is interested to raise the bar even higher than what Lawrence has done tonight, please do contact me. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the announcing of the TME. Maybe the new member can try to attempt the TME, maybe Alia, or I'm looking for Adib and Maria. Maybe those of you who are new member maybe can try to host a meeting. It is an interesting experience and quite challenging as well, but it definitely really improve your leadership skill and also preparation skill. Okay, next I would like to move on to the guest comment. I would like to start the guest comment from our third coming guest tonight, which is Hakim.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Shanor, and hello, good evening, everyone. First thing I want to say is that it's a wonderful session as always, even though this is my third week. Every week is a new learning experience for me something I looking forward, like what can I improve from my public speaking, as well as how is my speech pattern. And it's a wonderful session from Lawrence and Adlan, as well as Ling Ling as the topic table topic master. And from Charles, thank you again for the feedback and review. It's something that I can look back and reflect back on how I kind of want to develop and share my idea that I could apply in my works, because it's something that I I realized that I always try to stretch things out and to make things to more detail to a point that my idea is lost. So from there, I think I can reflect it back so that my point is this, and here's the two support points, and that's it. Something that I could reflect on and improve on. And I want to apologize to Alia for mispronounced the word. It kind of ruined the whole vibe to the whole thing. So it was a good, it's something that I could use after this, maybe for this week. If I have the chance in my office, maybe I could just Jinal, I guess. I'm sorry if I pronounce it wrong. Again, thank you for all Toastmasters. It's a wonderful session and looking forward for the next one if I have the time. And thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your comment. I'm also in denial. I tend to pronounce denial from now on. I also pronounce denial as well. Maybe I should practice pronouncing as genial. And also, Hakim, you've learned so much for the past 3 weeks as a guest. You will have learned so much if you are a member, because it will help you practice to deliver a speech within a constrained time. So we have projects that you need to deliver within 5 to 7 minutes. You need to be able to craft a good speech within that allocated time. I'm sure it will help you improve in making your content more limited but concise. Thank you very much for your comment. Next, I would like to invite another guest who I see for the first time. Maybe Hanif, would you like to share with us your comment?
Hello, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, my fellow member. Thank you very much for having me. I'm visiting Toastmaster from Universitas Indonesia Toastmaster Club. And for me, Toastmaster is not only a club, because it's changing my life tremendously. So for me, being a Toastmaster, not only I can have a challenge or opportunity to learn public speaking, but also I have friends from over around the world. For example, my friends, Toastmaster Lai Ling Ling here. I'm sorry I'm late because I didn't notice the time gap between Indonesia and also Philippines. I hope I can visit you guys in the future. I believe this club is amazing, and looking forward for your next speech and next meeting.
Thank you so much for the warm comment, our visiting Toastmaster Hanif. Yes, if you heard that, but Hakim Toastmaster is life changing. We get a first-hand review from our other Toastmaster club in other part of the world. It really life changing. It really help you improve your confidence and also your leadership skill. I definitely recommend you 10 out of 10 to try it out. Now we don't have any more guests. Maybe we can have members feedback from visiting club. Maybe we can have Gustika to share with us her feedback.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Chanur. Firstly, I would like to apologize because I couldn't turn on my camera. Okay. Actually, I wouldn't say a feedback. I would just say comment because, honestly, this is the first time I joined the Toastmaster in different country. I'm actually from Indonesia, same like Hanif. And I just realized that I just came across Brunei. And it's a really interesting experience because from the first time I came in, I could feel the great and positive and energetic vibe from this meeting, even though it's online meeting. As I believe everyone has the same challenge because online meeting, although it is It is very practical. Sometimes it's quite challenging to maintain the vibe. And when I came here, to be honest, it's really great. If I have time, I will come back again. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for the kind comment, Gustika. Yes, we definitely try hard to make our meeting experience more enjoyable. Credits to our members like Adlan, Lawrence, Magat, Charles, and other members in this room who try to keep the meeting livelier every week. Thank you so much for your feedback. Now, do we have any other member who want to give feedback on the floor? Going once, going twice. God. So there is no more members feedback. Now moving on to any other business. Do we have an AOB on the floor? No? Okay, so I have several. First and foremost, we are in the contest season right now. So all 4 clubs in Brunei, we are preparing for our contest, and the organizing chairs, they are looking for role players to help them organizing the contest. I would urge and recommend members to help the organizing chair if the OC is reaching you out to assist them. Maybe it's the opportunity for you to help them out. For us, Brunei Speakers Club are organizing contest for Brunei Advanced Speakers Club, and the organizing chair from our club is Magat Arif. So Magat Arif will be reaching you out if he needs any help and support in the role player department. Other than that, also Brunei Speakers Club will also be having contest. I think the first week of March, it will be an evaluation contest and also international speech contest. I believe there is no minimum requirement for the evaluation contest. So anyone who would like to test their evaluation skill, please do come forward and vote and register yourself to Magat and join in this evaluation contest. So for international speech contest, I believe you need to complete level 2 in the pathway. So if you have completed level 2, please also do consider in joining the contest. So that is the contest. And next AOB is the membership fee. So our membership term is coming to an end, and I believe on 31st of March. So for those of you who wants to continue your membership in Brunei Speakers Club, please you may pay the membership fee to either our treasurer Amar or to myself. And lastly, regarding about the physical meeting, we were supposed to have a physical meeting tonight, but unfortunately there are more cases arises, so we decided to postpone the idea of going back to physical meeting until further notice. So now we're going to stick with virtual meeting. So that is AOB from me. Close. So now is the announcement of the best evaluator. The best evaluator, drum roll please, goes to Toastmaster Akila Shakifa. Congratulations, Akila, for winning the best evaluator ribbon. Since you have won the ribbon, maybe you want to try the evaluation contest just to just to prove your point. All right. Congratulations, Akila. Next, lastly, is my closing remark. Okay, so this is the second week after we have our break. So I'm really happy that everyone is back again with full energy and enthusiasm. I'm really glad that we are all here learning together to improve our own skill and also communication skill. There are also guests who attend who really want to improve themselves. They are thinking that the best place for them to improve is Toastmaster, and Toastmaster will always be here every week. So the platform is always open for you to come in, improve yourself, and becoming a better speaker, better communicator, and improving the things that you want to work on. So I don't have anything more to say for this. I'm really glad that everyone's really glad that we have this lovely meeting. And I want to end this meeting with a poem after for so long. Home is a shelter from the danger of the storm, a cozy place for you and your loved one to stay. It's not the furniture, but the people who make the home warm. Before we say our goodbye, I would like to say happy Cap Gome. And I call this meeting adjourned. See you guys next week.
Good night, everyone. Bye bye.